ready for this? Got to put that down so the wheel doesn't get jacked. Here's the front wheel. Super sweet. Super duper sweet. Well, I'm going to flip it over. The other side's not as cool. But I have a drum hub. You can run a drum hub. It's all been machined. This is a kit you can buy. This is a lot cheaper than running disc brakes on the front end. So it's cheaper, or you can keep your wheel more exposed. You guessed it, more Loctite for the hub bolts. And then you just use all your stock spacers. By the way, this does not come with brake pads. So like here's the other piece. Here, you have to put your own brake pads on. And then you use your original spacer on the other side. So let me get these bolts tightened down really quick. Okay. By the way, this kit can be found on our website, rollingwrenchdenver.com. And the other thing is, if you're wondering what size tire this is a 12x4 front wheel with a 160/12 tire. The back, 12x8 with a 140/70/12. Now we just gotta slide our spacer through. Heck yeah, look at that. That's an FLP creation. If you notice, everything is stock. All the spacers, you don't have to mess with any of that. It's a really cheap and easy way to run drum brakes without having to do the $600 setup for the hydraulic. Or if you like the look, instead, with this opened up side, which a lot of people do, then you can go that route. You guys know the next step, lowered seat frame. Let me grab it. There it is. I'm not going to put this on just, yeah, I will. Okay, I got these nice little billet screws with our bolts with red Loctite. Real carefully get these started without scratching the hell out of the frame. Tighter than a Century Safe is what needs to be done. Ooh, look what I just noticed while I was doing this. Not cool. That's not gonna work. Where do you see this son of a gun? Powder coated gas tank cover with FLP gas cap. F&A. So this is a brand new gas tank, but I had this powder coat. This is metal. I don't know where this came from. It came with the project, but see this? That's a problem because it goes right into this thing. I don't know if I should cut it or space it up. I'm thinking I should space it. We gotta figure that out. I'm gonna call it. I think it's like 12 o'clock at night now. We're on our way to Taos, New Mexico to put 2 fuel injection kits in 2 Honda Ruckus 50s. The guy we're putting the kits on is a longtime customer and now a friend, and he allows us to stay in his really sweet home while we do the repairs. Open range horses just crossed the road. 1-800 danger zone if you're not paying attention. Holy moly. where rats live. Removing the alarm, removing the electric start, just cleaning everything up. This one's gonna get fuel injection, and same with this one right here. They're both 50 cc's. This is the GY6. That one's cool for now. Progress report. That one still is not doing so hot. Although all the functions work. Starts, kills. The sound system works. The lights. Oh yeah. And then this one. Fuel injection works. Oh, not perfect yet. Still some tuning to do. Bring in the party! Woo! Now everything works perfectly. This thing was a huge mess. I flipped the lights on, and you got other lights that go down up underneath here. Pretty sweet. And now the brake light works. Turn the key on. Used to work with the key off. And then this thing powers up now, the Garmin. And now you could just push this button. And the fuel injected setup that I just did. Everything's fuel injected now. Throttle body, filter, looking good. Holy sweet and sour chicken. I'm back from Taos, ready to resume this project. When we left off, we were dealing with this guy. I need to figure out a way to fix that cover. I put that on the back burner for now. I'm gonna get this. This harness actually came out of my 232cc, which kind of looks like a rat's nest right now, but it's a plate that I designed that everything's attached to it, and you just mount it in and go. It should be a really simple install. I don't actually have this completely done. There's a few leads I need to adjust to this bike. This is a used unit. It's pretty important for you to keep all your original 50cc wiring, because we have a really easy wiring harness, so you don't have to go down this route. This was our old design, which is cool. This sucker takes forever to build, but if you do our little adapter harness, it takes 20 minutes to install the whole harness. No taking out the old one or anything. You use the stock controls, stock fuel pump. It's the most reliable way to go. We're not doing it on this one just because, given the scenario, everybody's got a budget. This is one that I had around. It was in my bike, never had any problems. We're gonna go with this in this scenario. So I'm just in the process. I need to add some leads for the choke here, change the coil wires. I've already off camera got the tail light wired in, so it just plugs in, and then I'll address this here in just a second. There's been something I've been dying to have in this shop. It's a vise. Finally, I got one. Check this thing out. Look at this thing. $4, couldn't pass it up. So I'm trying to cover all the the baloney that you don't really want to watch on camera, but I'm gonna give you the update at least. So if you notice, I got these levers. You need brake sensors like these installed. So if you notice, there's no hole there. I drill the hole there, and see I've got the sensor down in there. So now, when you push it, see it springs back a little bit. The sensor is installed, and I can just plug those in. So I got to drill a hole here, and then I can install that sensor. So I've got that hole drilled. Now I just have to go behind it with the bigger drill bit so that I can fit this sensor down through there. I'll just slide it through just like I have the other one, like that. Just show you that real quick. See that? If you ever need to do that, you'll know how. There it is. So you kind of have to drill through the sidewall too. but ready for the sensor. Oh yeah, folks, those are done. Next project. So finally I'm done with the wiring harness, and I also did this little modification. Remember up under here, I just grinded that basically as clean as I could without getting into the powder coat, because this thing's actually metal. Most of the time they're plastic. So now it's not hitting. And the other thing that it took me forever was this chrome bracket goes there. So I've got two really good fuel line and vacuum line. They're both fuel line, but I like to use two different colors. We're gonna use blue for vacuum, and we'll use green for fuel. So I'm just gonna open this up, and then I'm gonna measure how long do I need from, I'll just slide it on there roughly and come around. It doesn't, I know it's not gonna take much. I need about that much. Probably cut that much because I need to put an inline fuel filter, and that takes up some space. Here's my one-way valve, very important. Fuel filter, I'll show you about that one-way valve here in just a second. Now I just need to figure out where I want to put this inline filter. Probably do it real close up here. Just like that. So here it is. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. Slide it on. Make sure the hose isn't going to kink in any way. That's the hard part. So because we're using our older harness that utilizes the vacuum operated fuel pump instead of the Honda Ruckus stock OEM pump, which is a much better option, we have to, I'm going to just explain real quick how this works, this fuel pump. So you've got gas that comes into the system, just like that, this little pump, and then out the other side is fuel that goes up to the carburetor here. Well, no fuel will flow unless there is pressure, air pressure going in and out. It's basically in and out, pumps that fuel up. So what you need to do is put a vacuum fuel valve hose right here. It goes up into this T valve or Y fitting. That's where it's going to go. I'll probably flip this around so it has a better angle. But by doing that, as the engine cranks over, in and out, the fuel pump's pumping. You're at a huge disadvantage when the bike has been sitting around for a long time. So what happens is you just crank. Finally, that fuel has reached the top, because remember, it's not an electric pump like the Honda Ruckus one. You just flip that on and it pumps, goes up, with the electricity. So in order to make the vacuum operated fuel pump as good as it could possibly be, you need to use one of these one-way valves. You can find this on the stock Honda Ruckus. Make sure you take that off. There is a little arrow on it. If you peel this back, I won't show you, it's pretty obvious. And it's a one-way valve, so that's going to go in line with your fuel. You want to run it about halfway up, probably about right there, maybe not halfway. And it's going to not allow the fuel to run back down into the tank. It's a one-way valve. Very important. This is what I got so far on the fuel. Fuel coming in, fuel coming out. Black on top for white on the bottom, black on top for the one-way valve. Up. So it's kind of resting, that way you can't see it. And it goes right into the carburetor. Finished product. Did a little wrap down there, spiral wrap. Little spiral wrap here to hold them together. Into the carb, into the vacuum. I'll probably do a spiral wrap there too, so that hose doesn't rub on that. We're gonna install this megaphone right now. So what I normally do is take a little grease, pop it on there so it stays in place. If it doesn't stay in place, then we'll put a little grease on there. Oh, it's staying in place. And then exhaust, 2 nuts, exhaust nuts. I'm just holding it in place. Hang on, pause. What I need to do, because this is really hard to get to, is add the engine oil. I just used some really good 10W40 scooter oil. Then when you think you've got it, just screw her on in all the way. Make sure you've wiped it off before you do that. And recheck. It's right in the middle, the very middle. So that's good. I'll run it, check it again. Just because I don't want to forget, and we're on the subject of oil, I'm going to go around the other side and see if the gear oil is full. I don't want to forget. So what you do is you come around the back where this kickstart is, right here. You'll know that it's the correct one because it'll have a crush washer behind it. The drain is here and the fill is here. So it's just a 10mm. Well, it might be different on your unit, but loosen that. Well, it's full. That didn't take much. So normally the way that you fill it up is you just fill it until it starts spewing out of there. And obviously it's full because immediately it started spilling out. There's all my hardware. On the level of tightness, it's the piss level. Okay? Tighten the piss out of it. Whatever that means. Just do it. Without a spring puller like this, that would have almost been impossible. Probably would have popped myself in the lip with a tool or something. There it is. Well, I'm over here with the camera and the whole filming crew and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and joking. Install this coil since it's right here. I'm not gonna do red Loctite on this only because this powder coat is like super stiff.